Yeah, I think that we had what that we saw in the last bit of first half. We looked a little flat. We had difficulties with the the structure of our pressure. They played through us, and we had to run a lot back. So we changed a few things in the break. I think it played out well, and I think the team looked aggressive and on the front foot in the second half, and I think we really played a very dominant second half. I was really happy to see it, to be honest.
It kind of felt with Sam's injury, it sucked a little bit out of the team and the stadium, and it did take you a few minutes to really recover from it.
Yeah, that's normal. I think also putting in Eddie also needed to get into the rhythm on that position. It's not normally his position, playing to the left, so he normally plays to the right. So I think he also needed to get into the rhythm with Sebastian there, and also with Goldie in front. So yeah, it took some of it out. I think. And then we also had a period there where we could have kicked the ball out and get a Eddie in, where we played a couple of minutes with 10 versus 11, and they gained some confidence out of that, and we used a lot of energy on just running around. So it was a little bit of a momentum shift, I think, after a very good start from us, but we managed to go back in the second half and really put the engines on again.
Jesper, it looked like Sam tried to give it a go on the touchline before he came out of the match. What is the update on his status?
It was a quad injury. I don't know how bad it is. We don't know that yet. I think it was a good sign. He wanted to try and give it a go. I think he stuck into the pitch. Somehow he got a push, and then he stuck into the pitch, and he felt some. And yeah, we have to see. I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out the next couple of days. He will be out for sure for a while, but for how long, I don't know.
This is a 2-0 start for the Whitecaps to the season, something we've not seen 7 years. What do you think are the key contributing factors to get off to such a strong start and top of the table?
Yeah. I think first and foremost, I think it's I came in and inherited a team that was well structured and in good shape, and we didn't have that many changes over winter. We have some, but if you look at some of the last games, it's not that we have changed 7-8 players from the starting lineup. So they obviously know each other, and then of course I think that you also need a little bit of luck. Sometimes we had played 11 against 10 the first game, and then today we scored a late winner. But I would say though that the team has looked great. They've done well in preseason. Everybody has chipped in and been ready to the new ideas I brought in, and I think that. I think that I can only be happy with what I've seen so far, and I hope it's only the beginning.
Jesper, what have you made of Pedro Vite in your time here? He obviously contributed on both goals today, but just wondering what you see from him as a player.
Extraordinary talented, I would say. He's still a young man, and he's doing very, very well, I think. Today I think that he was quite dominant. And I think what we've seen from him the last games here, or the beginning of the season here, has been uplifting for me, and I hope that it's the player we will see going forward, because then he will be a profile in this league. I think that he is. He's contributed with goals and assists, but there's so many other things that he does well as well. So I think that he's been really a great player to watch the first games here.
And what about Daniel Rios? Obviously, probably didn't see much out of him in the few minutes that he was on the field tonight. But what have you seen from him in training, and why did you want to get him in at the end of the game here today?
I've seen a player that needs a lot more training, and then I've seen a player that also. We were quite dominant in the second half, and we had especially we were attacking over our right side, and we had opportunity to cross. So that's why we brought him in to come in late in the box to be a threat from the backside area. So that was why we brought him in that also to attack that area. So he's a strong player in the box. He's a good finisher. He needs to get into shape. He's working on that because it's been a long break for him. He had an injury during the break, which set him back. But he's a guy that's ready to go and do everything he can for the Whitecaps, and we're looking forward to see him in best possible shape.
Hi, Jesper. You talked a bit about the dominance that you were able to return to in the second half. Can you talk? You talked a little bit about the tactical changes that you made at the half, but what about what you said to the players to kind of ramp down the emotion of what was kind of seemed to be taking over towards that end of the first half?
Yeah, it's always, football is very mental thing, more than most else, I would say. So you're up 1-0, you have a very good start, you get one of your players injured, and you starting maybe to feel the pressure a little bit. They score, and then it's like you're behind that break. So I just said that we're even, and there's no problem. We just need to get out and find our rhythm, do a few changes, make the pressure a little bit differently, and then go to show the fans that we have confidence. We have built upon the last couple of games, and that we are good. Because football is never straight lines, normally not. So it's normal also during 100 minutes that it goes up and down, and we are not a team yet. I would love it to be, but where we can say, okay, we go and dominate Galaxy for 90, 95 minutes, 100 minutes just straight out. No, it's a good team as well with good players. So it's normal that you have periods where it's not that brilliant.
2 wins to begin the season. Tough opposition to do it against too. Cascadia rival, the current MLS Cup holders. What have you made about your limited time in MLS so far?
I made of it that it's a great league. That it's there's a lot of passion about football here in both in Canada and in the MLS in general. I've seen a lot of games now, and I see great venues, great passionate fans all over, and I love it. I think it's great. It's a great competition, and I think that that now the first game, it's always special when you play most of the game 11 against 10. It doesn't really give you the right picture of what is the strength in between the teams. Today we saw that. Some called it the first big test for us, because of the way the other game went. And I also thought that to begin with the game, because and I think we passed it. I think we did well, and I think the team looked confident. I like the way we played 2-1 up the last 10 minutes. We were not just relying on giving them the ball. We dared playing close to Yohei as well, and then they jumped the pressure. Then we can play out for Eddie, and I like they look confident, and that was good, because they don't need to be anything else.
Jesper, you're talking about LA Galaxy, a very good team. The first real test, as you mentioned, they're tactically speaking, they're a team that likes to hold on to the ball a lot. They're similar to the way that you like to play in terms of controlling possession. First kind of real test of that as well, and a team trying to out-control your team. How did you find that kind of tactical battle against LA and trying to see who gets the most dominance, and how did you prepare for it, and what was your reaction to your team edging it out in the end?
Yeah, first of all, I will just say to Portland that of course it was, but that was just due to the red card. No, I think it was. Also a little bit of a chess match in the beginning, especially in the first half, and I thought that. We didn't change fast enough in the first half, to be honest, but we had a good talk in the break how we could do things different, and it worked out. But that's how football works, right? You try and do it your way, and you have the intentions you want to play out, with, but then the opposition don't allow you, or they do something even better than you do, and then you have to readjust and do something different. That's always hectic, and because the players cannot hear what you are screaming and shouting when you're standing there, so it's also about getting the right messages out, and also that the players understand what is about to happen. And sometimes it goes well, and sometimes it doesn't. Today we get a good grip back on the game, and that was good. But that's also something that we need to also be able to get to a point where the players actually on the pitch can recognize things themselves, and we don't have to wait until the break to adjust things.
And then I couldn't help but notice on the second goal, you made the changes right before Daniel Rios coming on. And then soon after, when your team was in possession, we saw Matias Laborda make a run all the way into the box and kind of overload the box, so it became 3-on-2, giving that space for Brian White to sneak in behind. Was that a tactical choice from you to throw Laborda and push up in those final moments, or was that Laborda's own disposition?
Yeah, it was a bad position for Matthias. No, no. It would be nice that we could sit here and say that we just take the players around with the joystick. We don't. We know which spaces we would like to attack, and Matthias also had the energy to attack late in the game, even though he plays a position that's pretty tough. He did his own. He did it on his own. I would not take any credit for that, but it was great for him. Also create that space that made their defender move 2 steps forward and then open up space for Brian. So that was great move for him. But we know which spaces we would like to attack, also to run into, and Matthias took the chance there, and that was very good.
Last question here, John.
Jesper, what did you make of the way you guys held on to lead, especially considering you didn't even let the Galaxy have an attempt on your goal?
Yeah, that was the one thing I was most happy with. That was the one thing I was most happy with, because when we played as a Saprissa, it was our first game, and it was also playing down there, and there was altitude, and there was a lot of explanations. But the thing is, you have to trust and rely on the way you would like to play. And if we play for 40 minutes in second half where we play one style and we dare that, then there should be no need for us not to dare play that the last 15-10 minutes. It's no worries. So I like that, and that's the one thing I was actually most happy with, to be honest.